This is the first video in a series of 2 videos where we're going to give you an example of the user experience with the Zap Accounting Software bookkeeping template. Ideally, you would have watched the other videos that detail all the components of this template before watching this, but many people are going to want to watch this first. It's a real chicken or egg thing as to which you want to watch first. So for those, we're expecting people to come to this video with one of 3 different perspectives. The first is that you use QuickBooks or another double entry accounting solution or bookkeeping solution to create your income statement and balance sheet from categorized transactions. If that's all you do and you don't do anything else in it, this is a direct replacement for that software or that template or that module. If you use QuickBooks or another double entry accounting solution, bookkeeping or accounting solution, for doing invoicing, accounts payable, receivable, and other things in addition to creating your income statement and balance sheet, this template will seem like it's missing some components. It's not. This does exactly what it's intended to do, exactly what it's designed to do and should do, and the rest of the pieces that you need are found in other modules or other templates or can be built or supplemented. So we have a very different approach to parsing or separating your accounting into tax accounting and managerial accounting that you'll need to watch some other videos or read up on to get a better grasp on. The third disposition you may come to, or you may have when you come to this video, is you don't have much experience with double entry bookkeeping or accounting or none at all. And when you see this, you're going to say, well, gosh, that sure is easy. What am I missing? And you're not missing anything. What you're not having to do is unlearn a lot of confusion that many other folks have had to experience over the past 20 to 30 years trying to do this with the software that was available. So the bookkeeping process for a spreadsheet-driven software solution that we've come up with looks like this: review prior work, record transactions accurately, and categorize transactions. Those are the 3 action steps you would take with each monthly reconciliation or quarterly or whenever you do it. The last 2 are typically a function of just clicking a button and looking at it and making sure that things checked out right. You'll review the net income statement or the income statement, and you'll review the comparative net worth statement, which is another name for the balance sheet that we've given. So let me zip through the template, give you an idea of what worksheets we're going to touch, and then we'll get on with this demo. So the template in a minimalist form for this demo has a chart of accounts. It has a statements worksheet. This is where we're going to enter header data from the bank statements. It has a raw transactions worksheet. This is where we're going to put the raw downloaded data from the bank. It gets mapped into a form that we like a little better, and then we're going to cut and paste that and put it into the checking journal here. At that point in time, we're going to go back and confirm that all the transactions appear to be here, and if they are, we will come back here and categorize the transactions. After which, we will go to the income statement, make sure that there's no egregious errors or omissions, and we'll go to the balance sheet. We'll make sure it's still in balance, and if it is, we're done with the process. So I'm about 3 minutes into this video. Let's see how long it takes to do this process. What we've got for you to practice is a faux banking website. If you go to bilbosbank.zapaccountingsoftware.com, you too can log in and get this information. So we're going to log in. We're working on the checking account. And I want to view the statement first for December. I'm sorry, I did not start by reviewing my prior work. I just reviewed the template. So step 1 is review prior work. For us, that means go to the statements worksheet, check and confirm that everything is still green here. There's nothing that's not green, indicating something has changed since the last time you were here and reconciled. Go over to the raw transactions worksheet, make sure that the download dates somewhat align with your last downloads, align with this. So we were good through 11/30. We're good through 11/30. So we're definitely starting with 12/1, and we want 12/1 through 12/31. The checking, I'm going to sort this by transaction ID. Looks like my last transaction was 12/30. Oh, that's a problem. I did this demo earlier and I'm redoing the video and I didn't take out the data that we're going to put in. So we just sorted the data and it pops up to 11/30, transaction 237. That's where we should be. We have an income statement. It looks to be okay. And we have a balance sheet that we know is in balance. So I've completed step 1, which is reviewing my prior work. Now I'm going to record my transactions accurately. So I'm going to go to the bank. I'm going to view the bank statement for December. What I need from this statement is this header information, 12/1 to 12/31, and these numbers right here. I'm going to move it off the screen while I type it in. Come back to my software. This is much easier to do, by the way, if you have 2 screens or one very large screen. I'm going to take this date, drag it down. It's a quick way to get a date into the cell. And I'm going to go to 12/1. I'm going to take that date, drag it over there, and I'm going to go to 12/31. My starting balance is 33,104. My starting balance over here was 33,104, so that looks good. The next number I need to enter is 12,075.07. Next value is negative 11,005.32. Next value is 34,174.19. And that turned green. This confirms that my math here doesn't have an error. If I had an error, let's say I had a typo right here, you would see that no longer matches. So this is data integrity. Now, the next thing I need to do is I need to go get the transactions for this. I'm going to download the CSV. We'll go ahead and download over the other one I had from a prior demo. And I'm going to open this up. So I might have clicked that too fast. Let's try that again. I got a little trigger happy there as it was downloading. Okay. And it's open up off the screen. If you see these number signs, you need to open those up because we're going to copy and paste special values only, and you need to actually see the numbers to do that. I'm going to highlight that in Control-C. So there's my data from the bank for the month. I come in here to my raw transactions worksheet, and I need to create a download set ID. I probably should have done this before I did that, but I didn't. I'm creating a log of what I was going to do or what I'm doing. And let's pretend that it's 1/2/2017. And I'm the one doing it. This is good in case you're splitting the duties with others. You can see who did what. I'm going to get down to the bottom of this, control arrow down. I'm going to enter number 5 here. I'm right click there, paste special values only. Now I have my data from my bank in my software. And I've also reformatted it into columns I want, and I've added a unique ID. I'm going to take this data, Control-C. I'm going to come over to my journal. I noticed I was starting with transaction 238. My journal ends with 237, so it seems like I'm in the right place. So I'm kind of checking as I go. I'm going to paste values only. At this point, I've got my data in here, but it's not categorized. Our instructions for doing this, let me see if I can find those again, were review prior work and record transactions accurately. We're still in this step and we're getting ready to categorize them. But to make sure we've recorded them accurately, we want to go back to our statements worksheet now. This second column is green. This second column checks all the transactions in the checking journal from the beginning of time up until 12/31. It adds and subtracts them. And if it comes up with the same value as this, you know you have full numerical integrity with your journal. So now what we're going to do is we are going to categorize these. We have suggested categories over here. So we don't have memorized transactions, but here are some suggestions over here I can use. I'm going to go Control-C. And I'm going to go paste special values only. And now I've categorized those, and my monthly fee for business is commission fees. I'm going to double check them. Counter credit is a gross receipt. That's fine. Counter credit, gross receipt, that's good. Cost of goods sold for Herbs R Us, and that's all good. So now I need to categorize the rest of these. I could go one at a time if I wanted to. Just click and categorize. In the case of the checks, I would need to go back to my bank. And in this case, because we don't have raw checking, we have actually a worksheet that'll tell you what the check is, what the amount was for, and who it was paid to. It also cheats and tells you what category, how to categorize it. That wouldn't normally be there in a banking situation, but we do have that for simulation. There's another way. So I could go down and do these one at a time, but there's another way I can do this. I can sort by payee. Now, by sorting by payee, what it's done is it's grouped everything together. I'm going to go up here to this red cell. I'm going to arrow down one time, and I get to the top of the list. This I happen to know is a payment against my credit card. I cheated a little bit. I kind of know what these are, but that's a payment to my credit card. That was an automatic payment. Now I'm going to arrow down. So control arrow down gets me to the next blank space. 400, that check, I don't need to look it up. I know it's for rent, and it's to Bob Smith, my landlord. I'm going to control arrow down. There's a $1,200. Oops, I'm a 106. I don't know what that is. So what I'm going to do for now, so we can get a little further along, is I'm going to assign that 99 expense to be categorized. This will allow me to see my income statement. And I'm going to do that for all the checks. So it's going to save me from having to look up and categorize them. When I do categorize them, I categorize them here and I put the pay to over here in the comments. So we're cheating. We're not going to change the pay to over here. We want to leave the bank data the way it was. We'll put the pay to in the comments. And then down here, I'm going to click that. And I'm going to click that. Remember, we're doing this for tax and financial accounting, not for managerial accounting. And that's what makes that cheating a little bit of where you're going to put the payees somewhere else. And we can search on those later. This happens to be a credit card payment. It's the same as the transaction above. Control arrow down. That's the same. I happen to know I can verify, but online transfer. Well, I categorized it before as this, so I'll do it again. Categorize it before as this. I'm good. Do it again. Categorize it before. Do it again. I can get an idea of where I'm at too. I have 256 transactions. I have 253 categorized. So I have 3 left to do. That's clearly an owner draw. Another owner draw. Got one more transaction somewhere. And it looks like that's the utilities. Okay. I have now just completed. I reviewed my prior work. I recorded my transactions accurately before I categorized them. I've now categorized them. My next step is to view my income statement. Change this from 1130 to 1231. And I should see my update. There's my update. Okay. And I'm going to change this over here to 1231. And hopefully it's in balance. Oh my goodness, it's out of balance by 4,000. Frustrating. We just got through almost a 12-minute video with a new set of demo data, and it seems like I've got a bad value somewhere. I'm going to hit pause here and see if I can find it. Okay, I'm back from my break, and this isn't an error. This is exactly the way it should be. You're going to get a quick lesson on a balance sheet before we get on with video 2, where we hopefully get this thing corrected. So what we have with a balance sheet is a reconciliation tool. And what we've done is we've asked if we were in balance through 1231. The answer is we're not, because we haven't entered our credit card transactions after 12/9. And it seems that we must have some transaction in here that maybe made a transfer to the credit card after 12/9. So we only have half of the full transaction recorded. We have it the amount of money leaving the checking account, but we don't show it in the credit card. And I'm going to cheat. I know where the error is. So what you want to do with the balance sheet is you never want to go past the date in which you have transactions for all accounts entered. Go to my statements. I have transactions through 12/31 for my checking account, but for my credit card, I only have transactions through 12/9. So the furthest I could expect the balance sheet to be in balance is 12/9. So at this point, if I wanted to stop and not do my credit cards, as long as it's in balance on 12/9, I'm in good shape and I can keep going. Now, does it fall out of balance on 12/10 because there's no transactions there? Nope. How about 12/12? Nope. How about 12/13? Nope. How about 12/14? Oops. That's where it falls out of balance. What I can do then is expand this, go drill down. We have a couple options for reporting. I can get all the transactions for the date range, or I can look for the end date of the report. And at the end date of the report, so on 12/14, what do I have in my general journal? I'm sorry, my general ledger. I have online banking check for banking transfer from checking. And we call that gross receipts. You see the debits and credits? This is where they come in handy here, but you don't have to have them. I can see signed values. There's 2 values. The 4,000 should have another entry. This is why it's called double entry accounting, and an entry is missing. The balancing entry for this credit is missing. That's why the balance sheet is out of balance. So congratulations, you just got a quick class in our dynamic drill down balance sheet as part of this process. It's taken me about 11 minutes to get the checking downloaded and to complete the review prior work, record transactions accurately, categorize transactions, review the net income statement, and review the comparative net worth statement. It took me an extra minute or two because I forgot I could only run that through the date of which I had transactions for all accounts entered. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this video. I'm going to start another video, and I'm going to just very quickly pick up with recording transactions accurately for the credit card. So you'll be able to see that process a lot quicker without an intro, and hopefully we'll get to the end of it, and then we'll be able to get a balance sheet through 12/31, and if it balances, we'll be ready for the end of the year reporting.